we will bring in Katherine Manley from the North Brunswick girls lacrosse team. So, so she is here. So we'll have Miss Manley come in, and I'll let her have a seat right there, and she'll flip that on for me, and we'll talk to Miss Manley for a second. About some girls lacrosse. The GMC champion North Brunswick girls lacrosse team, 3 championships in 6 years under head coach Daniel Porzio, and you know formerly Daniel Boussier. Let me see. I have to get this to where I want it. And with that being said, by the way, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Let me see. Katherine Manley. Um, Now I was looking online. Now your position, are you an attacker?
Yes.
Okay. So now for a complete, not even beginner would be to insult the word. I have no intricate knowledge of other than I see that you carry the ball. You carry the ball with your stick and everything. So other than that, I don't have a vast knowledge of lacrosse. So tell me exactly what an attacker is.
So an attacker is basically on the offensive end, just trying to work the ball around and try to score the goals. And we can't cross into the defensive end, but you can redefend the ball if there's a turnover and try to get it back before you cross the restraining line that we have.
So it's all right. So you have a certain zone that you play in, then,
Yes.
and so if the ball comes into your zone, you can, do whatever.
Yeah.
But once that ball leaves your area, then you're restricted. You can't go outside.
Yeah, you
it.
can't cross the line.
Okay. All right. Is there, in the off season, like now, did you play any other sport, by the way, or?
No, I used to do cheerleading, but not anymore.
Okay. Is there a lot of downtime in the off season where you just kind of have to stay active, if you will?
Well, some of us play on club teams, so if you're on a club team, that is during the summer, and then there's also a short fall season. But for the other girls who don't play club, then there's really nothing with lacrosse in that time.
When you go out for practice for next year, with Coach Porzio and for 2020, when you walk out, I'm assuming you probably start practice for high school, probably team practice. I mean, probably what, January, February?
March. We start, I think, the first Friday in March.
Okay, so when you walk out for the first time in March, is the expectation coming off of winning a championship, the conference championship, is the expectation we're here to win?
Yeah, definitely. We know that we have another chance again next year, but we're going to have to work for it as hard as we did this year.
I should mention that Katherine led the team in assists with 48, 55 goals last year. It's senior year this year, coming up. Now, with those 48 assists, do you feel like, I know Haley Greenberg graduates, do you feel like, with some of the girls that are leaving, do you feel like your role will change and you have to take on a bigger role?
Yeah, I think my role as an individual will increase, but we also have some underclassmen who also are going to step up and try to fill that void.
I know you have Alexis Rich. Tell me about some of those underclassmen.
Yeah, so Alexis, she's already been like a key player on our team, but every year everyone gets better, and she'll definitely start doing more, even though she's done a lot the past 2 seasons she's been with us.
And one of your other teammates, Talisa Jimenez, I read where she made the Puerto Rican national team.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, and so it seems like the lacrosse program is getting more and more recognition, from places. Obviously, that's probably a good thing. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like, the program is definitely going in the right direction?
Yeah, definitely. I think that people are starting to realize after we won the championship and everything, people pay more attention.
When you played in that, I watched you guys in the GMC game, not the GMC game, I'm sorry, the game in the regular season against Old Bridge. They had a big second half against you guys, and they won that game. Was that the game that, kind of, I guess, ticked you guys off, and you guys, took care of business against them in the championship game?
Yeah, definitely, because after that game, everyone was really upset, but I think actually that helped us in the end because we realized that it was us that lost that game. They didn't really win it themselves. We lost it for ourselves. So we knew that we couldn't play that same way and had to change things if we wanted to win, but we knew we could win.
Now, I know in just watching you guys from afar, I know that Old Bridge. You guys have had a couple of battles with Old Bridge in recent years. South Brunswick. Do you have like a rival, a team that you just when they come in, you just there's a switch that goes off?
We kind of have three rivals, honestly, in the GMC, which would be Monroe, South Brunswick, and Old Bridge, because we're the top four in the GMC for the past, I don't know how many years. So it's not that one is more of a rival than the other. They're kind of all our three rivals for lacrosse.
Now, if I'm correct, you played 4 years lacrosse or three?
In the high school?
In high school, yeah.
I played three.
Three. Okay. So if I'm correct, then I don't think you were there when Samantha Mahalik.
Yeah, no, we were in 8th grade. My grade was in 8th grade when she graduated.
Okay. Did you get a chance to meet her or practice with her or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, so her and Tatum Altman were both our rec coaches when we were in middle school. So we were really close with them, and they helped us at our practices and games all in middle school.
So then they obviously had an impact on you, going forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Do your family, your brother Joe played three sports. Do you, I guess, take a lot of cues from your family, like as far as sports is concerned? Are you guys like a huge sports family?
We are, but not like a crazy amount. Like, we all just do however much we want to do of the sport, and no one's pushing us more than we want to push ourselves. But my parents help us with like what they've learned from my siblings about like conditioning and stuff like that. But other than that, we just kind of play to the level we want to play to.
Now, growing up, obviously, like I said, your brother Joe, he played three sports. He played basketball, football, baseball. Was it one of those things where you looked at him and said, man, that looks like it's could wear me out? I think I'll stick to one sport.
Not exactly, but I was just kind of dragged along to every game, so I knew I was going to play sports myself. And I did cheer up until high school, too, so I just recently started only focusing on lacrosse.
Now, who's the better athlete, you or Joe?
I don't know. He played more sports than me, but I don't know.
Joe would probably say Joe.
Yeah.
Yes. Coach Porzio, how much of a difference has she made with you guys? You guys obviously winning the GMC championship and everything. How much of a difference? You talked about Samantha Mahalik and Tatum Altman before, but how much of a difference has she made with you guys?
Well, she's really good at motivating us, and like before the GMCs, even she showed us like a video that her sister had made of us throughout the team to just kind of hype us all up, and that really did help us push through at the game because everyone was nervous, but she knew that we could win it, and she made sure to tell us that.
Now, do you see yourself playing in college and or professionally, or no?
I consider playing in college because I played for a club, but I think I'm going to try to get into a school with my grades more, and then if I want to play club or walk on, depending on how the team is, I may consider doing that.
Now, do you do any student government, or?
I'm part of DECA and...
That's the business organization.
Yeah.
Yep. And what else?
I also do the Push Club, which goes to elementary schools and tries to prevent cyberbullying. And, I can't think of what else I'm in right now. But
it'll come back to you when you're done.
When I'm in school, I'll remember.
Now, obviously, you're still working on your college stuff. You mentioned that you're leaning towards going more for academics.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a school that I guess catches your eye, so to speak, and they have this top-notch lacrosse program, and it's something that like you just can't say no, and assuming they have the academics as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you would consider, or is it strictly academics?
I would consider it, but I really like the University of Maryland, and they just won the national championship, so that's not exactly a team I would be playing for.
Okay. And if obviously the goal next year for you guys obviously is to win another championship. Now, I know the states. What do you feel like is that one thing that's missing from winning states?
I think that in our area, the teams that we play don't necessarily always prepare us to win the state championship because those teams are more in like North Jersey and South Jersey. So in the GMC, we don't have as much competition as other teams face every single game.
So if you could get in Coach Porzio's ear, she might be listening somewhere. So if you could get in Coach Porzio's ear, say, Coach, we need we need a more diverse schedule against teams from other conferences. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, possibly. But we do play some of those teams, but we just try to learn from them and see what they're doing to try to help our team like mimic that to improve.
Is there because I know you said Old Bridge, South Brunswick, and Monroe were the three teams that. Is there one player that gives you more trouble than anybody else?
Well, there was a player from Old Bridge that we just had a rival with since like middle school almost, but she just graduated.
Okay, it's one of those things where maybe it's bittersweet in that you're playing against her, raises your game, but then again you're not sorry to see her go either.
Yeah. No.
Understood. A couple more here for Katherine Manley. Now, let's see. So you're in this. It's August now. So I say between now and let's say not March, but let's say now in December. Do you spend a lot of time outdoors? Are you practicing in the gym or maybe you're just taking a break right now?
Well, right now I work for the summertime, but I had been going to conditioning in the winter with my club team. But now that that's over, I'll probably sign myself up for something by myself.
Okay, and then finally, how do you balance your sports with your schoolwork and your grade? Because there's a lot. It's funny, I meet a lot of kids that they're able to do it. They're able to have high GPAs even though they're in school all day and then they play sports and maybe they're not done. Like in your case, you'll probably go home. I'd say 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, maybe.
Yeah, for away games it can be that late. Home games is like 5:30.
Okay, so you're basically at school 12, 13 hours a day, and it's 180 school days. You're like 9 months out of the year. How do you avoid the burnout? How do you keep your brain from frying?
Well, actually, when I got to lacrosse season, it helped me with school because I wasn't used to having a lot of time off like I had been in this past fall. So during that time, I procrastinated a lot more, but then when I got to the spring season, some days I would just save my homework for later because I just had to go to bed early, but I was able to manage my time a lot better during lacrosse, and I didn't waste time that I had to do my work. I just sat there and did it.
And then finally, looking forward to next year and doing it all over again.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Now, are you going to be a captain next year? Do you know?
We haven't had them announced yet.
Okay. Well, I would think so. I would think most likely, especially you led the team in assists last year. I would think you got to be somewhere in the. Now is that? I assume that your teammates vote on that.
Usually the coaches pick them, but they see how we are our first few years anyway. So.
Okay. So there you hear from Katherine Manley, and again, talking some lacrosse. The Lady Raiders GMC champions last year, third time in 6 years under head coach Daniel Porzio, and so of course wishing the Lady Raiders all the best for 2020. So Miss Manley, say hi to Joe. And thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. And good luck to you guys. Win states, all right?
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. You can put that there.
Okay.
Yep, Katherine Manley.